past year at Alberta Barley has been very productive and progressive. We continue to promote our crop and expand market opportunities for Alberta Barley. During fiscal year 2017, Alberta Barley began work on many new and exciting initiatives, including a global market study to determine what our top markets are and where growth opportunities lie. Due to the craft beer boom, Alberta Barley has strategically aligned itself with industry through our Combine to Craft program to promote Alberta-made beer, and that's positive news for farmers growing malt barley. With regards to feed barley, we continue to work with our national body, the Barley Council of Canada, to promote barley around the world. We are seeing huge potential in the Asia-Pacific region, specifically in China, where Canadian feed barley and its high protein are gaining strong interest among their feeders. Alberta Barley and the Alberta Wheat Commission have joined forces under one staff under the leadership of Tom and Steve. Tom will lead a project to assess the feasibility of a single management team for the two commissions. We are very confident in the ability of Tom and Steve to lead the two commissions to better serve Alberta's barley and wheat farmers.
The core objective and priority for the Finance Department is to ensure farmer checkoff dollars are spent carefully and with full responsibility by developing effective and measurable strategic operational priorities. Because of our sound financial policies and value demonstrated to stakeholders through core programming, our refund rate continues to consistently remain between 4% and 6%. This past fiscal year marked the end of Western Wheat and Barley Checkoff Program, also known as the Western Canadian Deduction. As a grassroots farmer-led organization, we successfully managed the program as the prescribed agent of the federal government. Beginning August 1st, 2012, we diligently managed checkoffs across prairies to disperse funding to Canadian International Grains Institute, to the Western Grains Research Foundation, and the Canadian Malting Barley Technical Centre. With the end of the Western Canadian Deduction, Alberta Barley transitioned into a consolidated levy. We communicated openly with our farmers for months leading up to the switch and received unanimous support for our new levy rate. Our ultimate goal is to continue to provide unmatched value to Alberta Barley farmers by funding valuable research, market development, and policy development, all of which is only possible with the financial contributions from our stakeholders. Alberta Barley Finance Department continues to maintain the organization's standards, provides leadership, and delivers results to our stakeholders with accountability, transparency, and integrity.
Research is Alberta Barley's #1 priority, with about 25% of our income going towards funding applied research that would increase the quality and quantity of barley produced in Alberta, and at the end, profitability for the farmers. Through programs such as the Agri Innovation Program and the Alberta Agriculture Funding Consortium, and through core funding provided to research institutions such as the Field Crop Development Centre at Lacombe and the Crop Development Centre of the University of Saskatchewan, Alberta Barley commits about $500,000 to funding annually. In addition to funding research, Alberta Barley collaborates with other institutions to actively extend the results that these researchers have found so farmers could be aware of them and probably uptake them and implement them in their production. We collaborate with institutions such as researchers at Alberta Agriculture through their field days and with applied research associations. We also support conferences and other symposia whose aim is to bring knowledge of research to farmers. With the end of the Growing Forward 2 program, Alberta Barley is committing about $1 million through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership Program, which will fund research over the next 5 years.
Policy concerns have always been a priority for Alberta Barley. Again this year, we have worked with our federal and provincial governments to advocate for sensible policies that ensure the sustainability of our 11,000 farmer members' operations. This past year was a critical year for the Alberta cropping sector. Alberta Barley strongly advocated on behalf of its farmers for rail service improvements, for which we saw the historic announcement of the Modernization of Transportation Act. We worked weekly with the provincial government to encourage expedient claim processing to help farmers recover from unprecedented harvest conditions. This year again, Alberta Barley has continued to work with Team Alberta on many initiatives, including our annual lobby trip to Ottawa, where we meet with key politicians and influencers on Parliament Hill to ensure the voices of our Alberta farmers are heard. This last year, Alberta Barley launched the Combine to Craft initiative in response to the growing movement in the craft beverage sector.
With more than 50 new local breweries in Alberta, we know that demand for malt barley will continue to rise here in Alberta. These beers often use between 30 to 50% more barley in the brewing recipes.
Our malting barley value chain is unique. We have world-class maltsters, distillers, brewers, all working together right here in Alberta, where our farmers are growing their premium ingredient, what we believe to be the best barley in the world. And that is the story that Alberta Barley wants to share. To not only tell the story of our high-quality barley, but also to highlight modern agricultural operations and the sustainable practices of our farmers. In March of 2017, Alberta Barley took the lead in securing funding from ACIDF to work toward the development of a Western Canadian barley market development strategy. Through the project, we have engaged with our entire value chain, including our top buyers in both Alberta and Saskatchewan. And we've conducted analysis both globally and domestically. We have collaborated with our colleagues in BCC, Sask Barley, and CMBTC to develop a collective vision and action plan over the next 5 years that will drive profitability for our farmers. Our study has focused on determining opportunities and threats to grow our participation in key markets such as China, the USA, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and Mexico. And also how to enhance our competitiveness both as a crop and against our competitors.